What's good, everybody? Is gonna come back at you another video. So this video right here, I'm super excited to record because I pretty much had like a revelation, right? It's just reading the book that I'm reading. It made me stop to really think about my own life, but it's also had me, of course, reflecting, but also reinforcing the ideas of gratitude, appreciation, and appreciating what you have in your life. Because the main idea of this video is this: might as well enjoy life because all of it is temporary, right? All of it, all of life is temporary. It's just most people forget that. Most people get so caught up with what they're going through, with whatever circumstance they're dealing with, that they believe that first and foremost that circumstance they're dealing with is permanent. Plenty of people believe that their struggle, their poverty, all of this is all permanent when it is in fact temporary. All of it is temporary. This entire life existence is temporary, right? You could be the wealthiest human being on the planet. You could have all of the gazillions of dollars to ever exist. You could own every acre of land on the entire earth. You can own every single building that's ever been created and existed. At a certain point, right, when you've lived your entire life and you transition from physical to now becoming spiritual, right? You can't take it with you, right? You've heard the saying that you can't take the money to the grave with you, right? It's the same idea here, where it's like once your time is up, you can't take anything with you. Of course, you can't take the money with you. You can't take the land with you. You can't take the buildings and all that with you. Now, of course, you can pass it along to your family, right? And have like your family do well and keep the family name and tradition and all that stuff going. That's great. But anything that you've ever gained or owned or any of that stuff in life, you can't take it with you once it's over, right? So it's just when you begin seeing it all as just being temporary, that's when you begin to appreciate it all, because you understand that this won't be here forever, right? And you can use that same mindset and that same idea with your own set of circumstances, right? If let's just say you're going through struggle or hardship, you need to remember and believe and accept that that is all temporary. That at a certain point, right? Because that situation is literally just a set of circumstances, and what you need to understand about circumstances is that they're always subject to change. All circumstances are always subject to change because circumstances are just that. They're just a situation, and it's not a life sentence, right? Anything can happen. Things can happen, things can change, right? Because change is inevitable in this universe, right? Each and every moment is a brand new moment. Each and every moment is a brand new moment for you, that you can either choose to remain the same person or decide to get better and improve and bring out the best version of yourself. Most people, even despite having brand new moments each and every moment, they choose to remain the same person because it's easy, because it's comfortable. It's what they've always done. They've always remained the same person. And so because of that, it seems like life remains the same. It seems that nothing ever changes, but change is in fact inevitable. Change is a constant, right? The same idea here. At some point, right, when you've lived your entire lifetime, you're going to transition from your physical self back to a spiritual being, right? That change is inevitable. And whatever it is that you've owned here in the physical world, right, you could own it all. You could own the entire planet, and you still won't be able to take it with you, right? It'll all be temporary. So remember to appreciate it all, and remember to just be grateful and to have fun in this lifetime, because I think a lot of people get so caught up with how real their problems are that they forget that they were put here on earth to have fun and to appreciate this lifetime. Because as far as we know, or at least as I know, right, most of us know, right, that we here for one lifetime only. And knowing this, knowing that it's all temporary, right, it would make sense for you to just appreciate it, because at some point there's going to be a time where you will have to transition, right? Like that's just inevitable to happen. And this would have been an amazing piece of advice that I wish I had tapped into more often in previous stages of my life, right? Because in my earlier years, right, there was of course some academic challenges that I faced, like in like high school and college, where like sometimes it felt like I had so much work to do, and I was just like so fed up, and I just couldn't wait to graduate so that I could leave and continue on with my life, not understanding or accepting that this is all temporary, that at some point I will walk the stage, right? The date is set. It's not like it was an arbitrary date. Like You could look online, the graduation date for my year, right? If everything went well and I kept passing all my classes, it was inevitable that I was going to graduate on this date, right? So it was already going to happen. So it would have just been better for me to just appreciate everything I was going through, because it was going to be a time where I would graduate from high school and move on, or graduate from college and leave campus and enter the workforce and be part of the real world, right? Appreciate whatever it is that you're going through as well, because understand that that is all temporary, and that can change at a snap of a finger, right? It's just most people would choose not to believe that, because you know they've struggled in the past and they don't see any logical way of them ever escaping this struggle. And so because of that, they see it as a life sentence, and they themselves don't think that this is ever going to change, right? Your set of circumstances is just that. A set of circumstances is just a situation, and your situation is subject to change, right? For a lot of people, of course, the most obvious example is if you were to hit the lottery, and you would immediately basically become a multimillionaire. And then in that case, your life changed at the snap of a finger. But what you need to remember is that lottery isn't the only way. It might just be the only logical reason you can think of right now, right? But that's not the only way, right? There's infinite number of possibilities, unlimited number of possibilities, right? I remember seeing a story of, this happened like over a decade ago. It was on YouTube. It was like a homeless man who was on the side of the highway, basically begging, asking for money, but he had an absolutely amazing voice that sounded like a voice that you would hear on the radio or on the TV. And someone recorded him and was saying, hey, you have like a golden voice, right? And somehow, some way, because of that opportunity, that man ended up, he ended up getting an opportunity like at a radio station, whatever, and his life like just turned around to snap of a finger, just like that, right? It doesn't have to be because of a lottery. Maybe you struggling and hitting rock bottom, maybe that was, well, if it happened, is because it was meant to happen in your life. But maybe that happened so that it can bring out a new side of you that you didn't even know existed, a new side, that new level of hunger for you to go after what it is that you want, for you to grow and become the best version of yourself, because you know that the best version of you, this new version of you, is what will be required for you to get to where it is that you're going, right? Remember, you might as well enjoy life, because all of it is temporary. When I read that part from the book earlier today, saying that, all of your material wealth, everything, right? Like, I know people say all the time, like, you can't take your money to the grave, right? I understood that. But just thinking about it, like, you could literally own everything on this planet, and all of it is gone. Once your time is up, all of it is gone. Even your body, right? Like, of course, this body, like, of course, I knew that you couldn't take it with you, right? But just having the thought of like, this entire time is a rental, right? Like, and people don't see it that way, right? They just take things for granted. They have their body that's here for them, and they take their body for granted. They take everything in life for granted, because they just assume or expect there to be a tomorrow. And then if that's not the case, then it's like you never actually lived, because you were expecting there to always be another day. Now, I'm not saying, for you to just like panic and drop everything, right? Like, I'm not recording this video to like scare you or anything, right? I'm just saying, like, understand that everything in his life, that it's all temporary, that change is inevitable, right? Some people, they want to own things because they're afraid of things changing. The world is always going to change. Technology is always going to improve, but the world is always going to change, because every moment is a brand new moment. So this is why you need to embrace change, right? Everything in this planet is energy as well, and energy needs to flow, right? Be like, some people, when they own things, they need to latch onto and hold onto it as hard as they can. But what that is effectively an energy blockage, right? Because the same way energy flows in life, right, is the same way you need to be operating, right? It's like these energetic laws are basically how you should be also living your life, to be in harmony with the world, right? You need to be open to allowing things to enter and exit your life freely, right? I understand we want to own things. I understand we want to do well for ourselves, all this great stuff, but you also need to be open to change, right? Some people don't want things to exit or enter their lives because they want to resist change. And these are the people who struggle with navigating through life, because they want things to remain the way they were, and they want to remain in the position that they were the entire time. And you can't have that, right? You need to allow things to flow in and out of your life, because nothing in this lifetime is ever permanent. It's all temporary, because you're temporary, And something else I read some time ago that kind of made me laugh is someone basically said, you might as well just have fun and live your life and do what makes you happy, because after 200 years, no one is going to remember you, right? And that's the case for 99.9% of people, right? It's like, unless your name is probably etched in the history books somewhere, or you've made such an amazing impact that people still talk about you hundreds of years later. But for 99.9% of people, it's like, after your time is up, you might be remembered by your immediate family, but then 1, 2, 3 generations later, right? Or 200 years later is definitely a couple generations, most likely, right? That point, they probably won't even remember your name or anything about you, right? So if that's the case, right, it's basically like your life was temporary, and for the most part, your impact was probably temporary, and so you might as well just have fun, right? Because we were given this opportunity to live and experience life, right? We were one of the lucky ones to be born, and this is a temporary existence. So might as well just have fun and enjoy and appreciate it all, because why not, right? Even if you're dead broke right now, you can still appreciate being broke, because you can tell yourself, yo, it's all temporary, right? At some point, I'm going to be rich. At some point, this is all going to change, because this is just my set of circumstances. So who actually cares, right? You can go through hardship right now, and you can, with every fiber in your being, believe that is all temporary, because at some point you are going to level up and be great. And as you bring out your greatness, as you bring out the best version of yourself, then that's when you realize that you were in fact in control, and you were powerful this whole time, and you absolutely triumph over any problem or bad situation that unfolds in your life. That you were the all-powerful creature this entire time, that you had divine power within you. And so it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, you can still smile and laugh, because you know that your situation, if it's not where you want it to be, that it's not an accurate reflection of where it is that you're going, right? And understand, once again, right, that you might as well just enjoy life, because it is all temporary. There won't be anything when your time is up here. There won't be anything that you could take with you after it's up, right? Now, of course, definitely, if you want to do well, right, like definitely do well and like set up your family for success for the future and all that good stuff. But like, it's all gonna be temporary, right? So just have fun, do what makes you happy. If you want to set really high goals and dreams and give you something to go after, do that to keep yourself entertained. If you're a dreamer, definitely do that, because then you'll wake up every day excited with something to chase after, something to go after. And in your journey, going after something great is going to require a new level of greatness that's been within you this entire time, that you may have just bottled away because you didn't think that you would ever need it, or you didn't think that you were ever capable of bringing that side out, until it's required for you to bring it out in order to be great, to get to where it is that you want to go. So just enjoy life. The moral of the story is just enjoy life, right? It's going to be a time where, you know, you are going to transition. So you can't take any of your material possessions with you. You can't even take your body. This was a rental, right? So just appreciate it all. Appreciate your body. Appreciate all the people you have in your life. Appreciate all the experiences. Appreciate every little moment to moment. Appreciate all the fine details, right? If you go outside, go for a walk, right? Appreciate the sun. Appreciate the trees. Appreciate all of the creatures that you see, the dogs that are being walked, right? The random cats that you see, right? The squirrels. Appreciate the sounds of the birds, right? Appreciate it all, because it's going to be a time where you won't have it anymore, right? It's going to be a time where you won't have anything anymore, right? At least in the physical world, right? So just enjoy life, because it's all temporary. And then, like how the funny story I heard, after 200 years, 99.9% of people won't even be remembered, won't even know their names, like you won't even know they existed, right? So at the end of the day, it's like, who cares, right? Just do what makes you happy. Worry less about other people's opinion. Worry less about what other people have to say, right? Someone else's opinion does not have to affect you, or does not have to determine whether or not you succeed or not, right? That all depends on you. It all depends on what it is that you want, and what it is that you're passionate about, and what it is that you want to pursue. So in this lifetime, just have fun and be great and bring out the best version of yourself, and try to help and influence as many people as you can along the way, so that you can, of course, live a life that's ultimately blissfully happy and amazing, and you can help other people to do the same. And that's going to make you feel so good, becoming the best version of yourself, and also helping to pave the way for as many people as possible to experience and see the world the way you do. So I know that was a lot, but hopefully this video meant something to you, and hopefully you can take away from this video the main idea to just appreciate life. Might as well enjoy it all, because at the end of the day, your time here in this existence is all temporary. All right, so if you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and subscribe, as we're on the road to 1 million subscribers, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.